I know there's some people on here, but let me do something real quick here. I got it all set up with my iPhone, so it's not my usual situation, guys. What's going on? I'm going remote. Let's turn that down a little bit. All right. How is everyone? Get this all arranged properly. All right. Part of California. I'm down in Torrance, California right now. Let's move this up a little bit. There we go. What is going on, everyone? Go Browns, Brent. How are you? No Motel 6. I'm at the DoubleTree. What is up? Can you draw a picture of you while I draw a picture? Draw all the pictures you want. What's up, Brandon? How come in California? Because I like to travel. My aunt passed away too, so it's like a little family reunion thing. Come to Malibu. New glasses. Actually, yeah, I think this is a new style I got. The other ones didn't have the blue tint for the, what do you call it? The for the light from the camera or the computer screen, so these ones do. My day is good, Sean. Thank you, yeah. My aunt, she was a good woman. Sad to see her go. Moving to Dallas. A lot of people move to Dallas. I think in the near future, probably 5-10 years, Dallas will be in the same situation a lot of other places are, where it's just way too crowded. I look like Dana White. There you go. I wish I had his bank account. Hey, Guy. How are you? Thanks, Scott. Jojo, thank you. Hey, Milan. Sherry, you're leaving Oregon as soon as you can? Louis, I'm down in Torrance, California, just south of Los Angeles. I'm going to a couple things. Mostly it's family stuff with this trip. So I'm really not even seeing any of my friends or anything like that. I'm just in and out, all that. Hey, thanks, Blake. Appreciate that. Do you see any conservatives moving to blue states with potentially intention minor state like Texas? Okay, let me get that right here. Let me see if I got that right. Do I see any conservatives moving to blue states with potentially intentions of changing its law for the better minor? So, I mean, moving to a hardcore blue state, I think that takes decades to change unless something horrible goes wrong. I mean, if you're a conservative, if you're a liberal, you see everything the other side does as wrong. So someone would have to do something terribly wrong to actually flip a really hardcore blue state, like say Oregon or something like that. It might be able to make a change if you move to one of what they call battleground states, maybe, but not hardcore blue or hardcore red states. I don't think that's possible in this day and age. Lewis, just wanted to say hi from Kimmie Valley. I went through there yesterday, day before yesterday on the train. Thanks for supporting the channel, both of you guys. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, you know what? I'm making a video that I'm just filming in here, and I'm going to use the GoPro, so it won't be my normal quality. But as far as California goes, it's well known. It's got all kinds of problems right now, and the homeless situation's out of control. From the train and some of the other things I saw from the train, once you get into California, it's freaking way worse than my statistics or what I experienced when I used to live here. It's so much worse. There's complete tent cities for, I'd say, a half a mile to a mile, several of them, of just tents and people living there. Total barbecue and stuff like that. They're living on the tracks. Yeah, not a lot of people do miss that heat, guy. Heat's pretty bad. And Zell Thomas, how are you? What? Lon, how are you? Philip, what's going on? Hola, Nancy. Thanks, Clifford. From Kenya. Well, thanks. I know a guy from Kenya, and he was so he tells us one time, "Oh yeah, I got bit by a zebra." We thought he was joking, and he lifted up his leg, and yeah, he had a big gash in his leg. He got bit by a zebra. Oh, I'm sorry, Milan. Did I miss one? Give me 1 second here. Okay, you have a quest. Please do a video on best and cheap college towns in the United States. I think I did. I think I did the most dangerous just recently, but that is one I should look at. Most affordable college towns. That's a. I think we've done things like that before, but it's been a couple years. The train ride is great. I don't know if you guys have ever taken the train, any long distance trains. It's nice if you have the time. It's a little more expensive and it takes a little bit of a time, but if you get one of the sleeper cars, it's really an enjoyable trip. Dangerous small cities, go to Crescent City. I've done it several times. I'm actually working on, I have a podcast and I kind of want to write a book about it someday about people you meet on the train. Yeah, so that's what I do. I just like to talk to people on the train, find out their life stories. Oddball places presidents were buried. Ooh, that could be potential. Lon, thank you for supporting the channel, Lon. I appreciate that. Fist bump to you, pal. But yeah, where presidents are buried, that could be interesting. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of interesting people on the train, and people on the train, they're talkative. You got time. It's a little bit different with the COVID thing because most of us stay to ourselves and in our rooms, but you could still go to the observation lounge and talk to people. I met 3 interesting people just on the way down yesterday. One of them went very in depth on her life. It was kind of interesting. It's funny how people will open up to me and start telling me that stuff. My podcast, which I don't do too much, but I have plans on pumping it up more, but it's called Stories from America. There's a link in the description of most of my videos you can go to. California. Yeah, I was really depressed once I got into California because I knew it was bad. I knew the homeless situation was really bad, and I knew there's like, we drove by this one thing, I have a video of it, near Oakland, California, I think Emeryville, and there's like trash cans and stuff, or carts with trash in it, and like some homeless person was pushing the cart. Right in the middle of the road, there's just a motorcycle laying there. No one around it. Couldn't see anyone. There's just a motorcycle laying on the ground, and it didn't look like it was some junk motorcycle that someone just threw in the middle of the street. It looked like it was maybe stolen a couple hours ago and just left there. Hey Briggs, I live in Nevada. I have a senior who's interested in acting. I was looking for a place in California. However, your videos are making honor to consider. Yeah, you know what? If you're senior, I don't know, boy or girl, but if they want to get into acting, get them some classes, like something that's known, not from some Joe Nobody in Phoenix, Arizona. Like get them into Second City or get them into Groundlings in Los Angeles. You got to live in Los Angeles if you want to start doing interviews and stuff like that. That's just how it is right now still, or I should say auditions. And it sucks because most of that area just blows. Sean Diaz, thank you very much for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Lucia, hey Briggs. Hey Elizabeth, how are you? thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. I love that, your profile picture too. It's a great picture. Jason S. Let's see. Video about America's colonial cities. St. Augustine, Charleston. You know, that is one that I wanted to do, the most historical cities. And yeah, St. Augustine and Charleston will be on that list. I've thought about breaking it up by, hold on one second, guys. Sorry, I thought I heard someone knock on the door. Maybe they knocked on the wall, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'll break it up by colonial and Civil War cities or places, you know, like Gettysburg, things like that. It's one I've, escort time, that's pretty funny. That's something I've thought about doing. But thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Hollywood. Morpheus Jones. I love Boulder, Colorado. Hey, St. G, how are you? London, England? Your work. Thank you very much, Edward. Would you ever do a video? Let me see that one. From Michelle. Hey, Briggs, would you ever do a video on the best cities and towns? Decide which maybe conservative or... Yeah, you know, sometimes I do the ones like that, the conservative or liberal ones, but I try and say, hey, Briggs, you're from Finland. How are you? My girlfriend, and my girlfriend lives in Oregon. Would you have any advice for a possible immigrant? Yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong with Oregon. If you watch the news, they're going to show you nothing but the riots and all that stuff. But that's happened in a small part of Portland. We got a little bit of a homeless problem. But if you can land a job here, I wouldn't live anywhere else. Yeah, I'm in towards California right now. Lewis Smith, thanks for supporting the channel. And thanks for supporting the channel too. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Berttu. Lewis Smith, what's my favorite pizza topping? Pepperoni. Yeah, I'm pretty simple like that, but I do like a Chicago deep dish. You're in a hotel room? Yes, I am in a hotel room in California. Is it expensive where I live, Briggs? No, not terribly. Auto insurance rates. So that's one, Monkey, I've thought about that one before, about doing one where, you know, your insurance rates are going to be really high, or the worst places to own a car, something like that. I've thought about that before. We never got around to doing it, but that is probably something that'll happen eventually. Is there a difference between Portland and Seattle? Yeah, there's a big difference. Mostly Portland's a little more, it's smaller, and it's a little more affordable. It's a lot more affordable, I should say. But it's smaller and more affordable. That's the main thing. It's like the little brother to Seattle is what I always look at it like. Torrance, California, awesome. Oh, Edwards Air Force Base. I've been there before, a couple times. We always seemed to land there to get refueled when I was in the Army. Lori, thank you very much. I've sneezed, guys, sorry. Oh, that was gross. Sorry about that. All right, let me see if I can see here. Oh, it's moving too fast. 203 people on here. Mary Casey, thanks for supporting the channel. And Lori, you too, I appreciate it. Just moved Vancouver, Washington. What's the area like? Just moved. Oh, okay. Vancouver's nice. I don't mind Vancouver. A lot of people think that's the smart move. You live in Vancouver, work in Portland, and buy your stuff in Portland because there's no sales tax in Portland, and there's no, or all of Oregon, and there's no state income tax in Washington. So it's the best of both worlds because it's right over the border. Palm Springs. Seahawks look good this year. Like I visit Riverside. No, that's not on this trip this time, David. Fort Ord, but hey, Bill Bosner. Yeah, I was just talking to someone about Fort Ord. My aunt, who was at the funeral, or my cousin's ex-wife, she now lives up in Carmel Valley, and her son, my nephew Dustin, lives in Monterey. We just had a long conversation about Fort Ord. I want to go there before they tear all the buildings down, take some pictures. Why is there such a disparity between rich and poor? It's our political system. It's just my opinion. And it's both sides. I'm not taking a side here, but when you have money in this country, it's almost legal to buy politicians, buy donations to their campaign. So if the rich people are giving you money, they usually make our politicians make decisions. And there's a thing that happened some years back called Citizens United, where it made it okay for them. It used to be they could only donate so much. Now they can just dump money into these campaigns through super PACs and stuff. And so when someone's basically funding your career, you got to do what they say. And I understand that, but that's just our system, and that's why it's that way. They have their politicians make laws that help them, not help everyone else. Boston expensive. Yep, Boston is expensive. Was my specialty in the Army? I was 11 Bravo light. I was light infantry, and then later on I switched over to 35 Mike, which is human intel. What's the meaning of a tattoo on my arm? Oh, that's my son's name, Ronan. I got honor across my back, and this whole thing is Thor's hammer. That's I have 3 kids: Honor, Ronan, and Thor. I like Flagstaff. Flagstaff's one of my favorite cities in Arizona. Right. Oh, this one? That's actually the Fort Ord thing. Fort Ord tattoo. Done in the barracks of Panama, so you know it's quality stuff. It's like a step up from a prison tattoo. 10 most expensive states with the cheapest. You know what? I'm gonna do that one tomorrow. I'm gonna work on it tonight and upload. And I don't have all my stuff here, so I'm not gonna do voiceover. I'm gonna use my GoPro, and it's gonna be almost like a live stream, where I'm just gonna tell you things I learned on the trip down from California and show you some video that I took from the train and how disheartening the state is. I love Oregon. I love California. My family's here. My friends are here. I love the ocean. Everything else about it sucks right now. How long have I lived in California? I was born and raised here in Torrance, California. Probably my house was just to the west here growing up. And then I was born at Torrance Memorial Hospital. And then after I got out of the Army, I lived on Sapphire and PCH, which is in Redondo, about 2 miles from where I grew up. And then I moved up here 10 years ago, or moved to Oregon 10 years ago. Delaware is expensive. Stay out of Wilmington. I'm in Torrance right now, Red Car. Sorry guys, I know I'm missing a lot. We got a lot of people in here today. Yeah, you can only, yeah, I just like to stay in a hotel when I can. Clifford, what did you ask? Or I'm sorry, Briggs, focus on my question. Milan Roy, you asked another one? Oh, states who vote most and states who vote least. That could be good. That could be good. That might be good before November 3rd. The biggest turnout per capita. That could be good. Thanks for the content. Zach, thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. You know, I don't have any thoughts on Nuss. I don't even know where that is, New Hampshire. Never even heard of it. Yep, winter is coming. Vitamin D is your friend in Oregon and Seattle. Best states for disabled vet. I'll tell you right now, its best city is San Antonio, Texas. Top 10 states for single women. To find one or to be one? What's my take on Savannah, Georgia? It's one of my favorite southern cities. I love Savannah. Casual fan. Save your casual fan. I saved my wife moving to Seattle. I'm glad I could help out. Yeah, Seattle's a nightmare right now. How much is an average home price in San Antonio, Texas? You know, I don't know offhand, but I would say it's right around 300,000 for the average house in San Antonio. My numbers might be 40 or 50 grand off, but San Antonio does have some nice areas, but a majority of their places, I would say you can get a nice livable house, may need a little work, between 250 to 350,000, somewhere in that area. And when you get into the 400 and 500,000s on there, you're buying really nice homes in San Antonio. Now that's usually in the suburbs, but obviously any downtown that is a bustling downtown, which San Antonio is, condos there go for $500,000, you know, so don't count that, but everywhere else. Sorry guys, if I'm missing, I know I'm missing a lot of things because this chat's going pretty quick. I still have my hockey gear, goalie gear. Yes, I do. For a man who, what's my best tips and advice? You know, I'd have to think about that. Always over tip a breakfast waitress. Thank you, Chris. All right, let me see if I can get a couple more here. Free continental breakfast. What's Boston's median home price? Ooh, expensive. You'd be lucky if you can find anything under 600,000 in the Boston area, unless it's a whole. Hey Briggs, can you do a top 10 reasons to move to Connecticut? I could, but I don't think anyone would watch it. Clarksville, Tennessee is nice. I've only been through there a couple times, but I liked it. It was really nice. Albuquerque or Phoenix? Albuquerque is not a good place. Albuquerque is a better looking town, I'd say that. There are architecture and things around there, but they got some really bad areas that you don't need to go to. Well, thanks, man, for all seasons. I try and do my travel videos a little bit different. Best music scenes right now. So obviously, oddly enough, Charleston, West Virginia has one of the best music scenes going on right now. Asheville, North Carolina, and those are the better ones right now. Wisconsin has some things going on, but that's spread out throughout the state with bands like Bon Iver and stuff. Justin Vernon. Gastonia, North Carolina. You know, I don't know much about Gastonia. Overlook Park, Kansas. It's one of the most appealing places to move right now in the country. Overland Park is a nice place. It's in Kansas, and that brings the moniker of it's obviously boring. And you know, anyone from the East Coast, West Coast, that's instantly what they're going to think, that it's Kansas, it's boring. Overland Park is a nice place to raise a family. Probably one of the best in the country. Peoria, Illinois. You know, Peoria is one place I don't think I've ever been to. So, I mean, I just know stats, and it's not the best right now. I've been to all states, and I've been to a lot of the major cities. But then when you get to smaller cities, I've never been to them. The homeless problem is brutal in California. I knew this before, but I'm even more just bothered by it, by what I saw on the train. You'll see that tomorrow. Have you been to Rochester? Yeah, my I have a biological father that's Southern, and then I have my father that raised me, and he's from New York. He was raised me since I was 2, and he's from Rochester. So he was actually just there, and I've been there a couple times in my life. When I was younger, mostly. Biggest news event I was ever part of: the Los Angeles riots, the '92 ones, Rodney King ones. Thank you, Alex. I like my glasses. Oh, Venice Beach has been turning into Skid Row for a couple decades. They clean it up a little bit, but then it goes right back to where it was. Every 10 years, they'll get a good year of they've just cleaned it up and chased a lot of the homeless away, and then it just filters back in. It's like once they figure out the problem, they don't continue to try and keep it better, you know? Abilene? I like Abilene. Hey guys, I do apologize that it's just me in this hotel room today, so I don't have anyone else helping me. And we got 233 people in the thing right now, and there's a lot of chat, and I apologize up front if I miss anything. I'm trying to catch them. And it has nothing to do with you donating money or anything like that. I try and get all the ones I can in here. Supporting the channel. I don't think it's donating. Is it donating? And there's one right there. Jason S., best cities for craft artists. I know Taos, Asheville are really good. Yeah. You know, you look at Portland, Ashland, Oregon has a big art scene. Again, Charleston, West Virginia has a great art scene. Music and art there is phenomenal. But then you look at, if you want to go north, Madison, Wisconsin has a nice one. Blake Garcia, that is a great town to live in. CDA, as most of them call it there. A lot of people are moving there, and the suburbs around it. So one of the hotter places, for being a small place, for being a smaller city, it's probably one of the most moved to place that's not a mega city. Robert, thank you. And Blake, thanks for supporting the channel. You too, Jason S. Do I constantly travel? When there's not a pandemic going on, I try to. Chicago winters can be brutal. Any more Canada videos? You know, I want to do a couple more, but I also want to do a couple Mexico videos. I'm not sure how they'll go over, but I'd like to do a couple. Pittsburgh area? Pittsburgh's not that bad. They got a good beer scene. Providence, Rhode Island? It's not terrible at all. If you're from there, I've had a couple people tell me how bad it is. And then it's like I have a friend that, I think he's in Connecticut now, but he was a cop in Providence for a long time. I think about 5 years ago, he moved to Connecticut to a small town, became like their sheriff. But he's all, Providence is nothing compared to Washington, D.C. or nothing. But the locals think it's the worst thing ever. It's nowhere near that bad. Austin is very liberal. Edward French, thank you for supporting the channel. Little Rock food scene? Well, they also have a lot of bullets flying around at random places, so I don't know if it's worth it. I remember staying... 1992 earthquake woke us up. I was living here for the 1992 earthquake. Thanks, Edward French. Love you back, pal. Christopher Kim, thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Providence is not that bad. But there's all these people, it's like they try and get in my comment section to get street cred for their city. You know, Providence is not that bad. I had a bunch of them talk about how there's horrible gang problems. There's not. It's like the one guy that, I forget where he's from, like Possum Trot, Kentucky, said that they had some of the worst crime in the country. I'm like, you have 32 people living in the city. There's no way you can have the worst crime in the country. Where's California City? You could argue that one for a couple of days. I think next week I'm gonna do one, the worst cities in California to live. And I'm gonna do some of them. Normally I try and separate them, just give them by the metro area. But I think there's some areas we need to talk about, like that are, in the San Francisco Bay Area, and, Emeryville and Oakland right next to each other. They just both suck. So I don't know, I'll figure out a way to do it. What am I drinking? Coca-Cola has an energy drink now. So it's Coke Zero energy drink. I've been to Desert Hot Springs many times. The real hood, Naples, Florida, dangerous streets. So is it bad? Stockton's horrible. Stockton's a horrible place to live. Ask the Diaz brothers. They're both from there. They're proud of it. They'll probably be the first ones to tell you the place is the hood, and it really is. Bakersfield and so Bakersfield has some suburbs that are really nice. Stockton does not. Yeah, I think I answered that one already. I've been to Desert Hot Springs many times. Were you in all the... Were you... All gas, no brakes video? I don't even know what that is. Kern County. My wife's father owns a house in Kernville, actually. I go up there. We haven't been up there in years, but we used to go up there every summer at least once. Farland, USA was a good movie. I like that one. California winters are not brutal. I mean, I'm sure there's some mountain towns that they get pretty bad, but really California, they don't have bad winters for the most part. I'm sure if you took some little town up in, near Reno, they've had some bad winters, but majority of the state's perfectly fine during the winter. I've been to Astoria. Yeah, that's only like an hour and a half away from my house in Oregon. I was expecting a little bit more from it. I really was. It wasn't that. It was just the seaside town like all the other ones. There's far better ones down the road in Oregon, like Cannon Beach, and Seaside's even nicer. I have been to Lexington, Kentucky for 3 nights. That was it. Now maybe it was 4. We're talking 2001, I think. But it was nice. Oh, I'm down here. I had a family member pass away, so that's why I'm down here. Fires are still burning. That'll be on tomorrow's video, too. Move from Naples, Astoria, Oregon, or Crescent City? That's a rough one. I'm not sure. Can you do top 10 reasons to move to Colorado Springs? I've been thinking about doing a Colorado Springs one soon. My fraternity sold a house in University of Pacific in Stockton. The fraternity buying it negotiated the price down to cover an 8-foot security fence. Yeah, that's what you need, guy. Yeah. I heard years ago, speaking of security fences, David Duchovny lived next door to Dennis Miller, the stand-up comedian, in this really nice part of Santa Barbara. And, well, this was during all the, what was that show he was on, The X-Files? And all the psychos used to come by his neighborhood and stuff like that. David Duchovny felt so bad he paid for a bigger fence around Dennis Miller's house too, because people were crazy lunatics were getting into Dennis Miller's yard trying to take pictures of David Duchovny's yard. Yeah, Smokey the Bear would be freaking out right now. This place, I looked at the, as we came down, I just saw the smoke hanging up there, and it was rough. And I was like, are they still having that many fires? And I looked on they have a map. California Forestry has a map of where the fires are. There's still a ton going on. I guess they just left the news cycle. But there was smoke. You could just smell it in the air the whole length of California. Down here in Los Angeles, it's not terribly bad. But up in the northern section, it was horrible. Thoughts on Boise, Idaho? Boise's not bad either. You know, it's hard to go wrong in Idaho right now. I mean, even their bad cities are not terrible. Favorite beach? Cannon Beach, easy. What state is the best for lower taxes? Texas is a decent one for that. That's, I mean, a livable state. You go to places like Arkansas and things like that, they have really low taxes, but they're really not worth living in that state in most cases. They got some nice areas, but yeah, Texas is no taxes. Columbus, Ohio, nice place. Any video on states California people are moving to? I have done that one. I did that probably about three weeks ago, where they're going, where they're ending up, I should say, where Californians are moving to. I did the states and the most populous, or where a majority are going to, what city in each state. So yeah, that's probably a month ago I did that video. Gold Beach, as in the one in Normandy, France. Best city in North Carolina? Save money. Ooh, that could be a good one. North Carolina's a good state to save some money. El Paso sounds nice. El Paso, you know, if you could handle the heat, which it gets pretty bad, it's not that bad of a city. You get all these people that just instantly think it's a horrible place because it's on the Mexico border. Well, it is on the Mexico border. That doesn't bring half as many problems as people would think it does. It's not that bad. Mostly, you know, I'm sure there's a ton of crime coming across there, smuggling or whatever they do. But a majority of the people that cross the border there are just families coming over to work, and then they leave at night and go back to Mexico. And, or vice versa, you know, they got families living on each side, and they just, it's not nearly as bad as people like to think it is. Best state engineering firm. Well, stay out of California. It's been ranked over and over as the worst state to have a business. I'm missing a lot of these guys, and I apologize. Oh, nice, affordable. Prattville, Alabama. Then you're living in Alabama. Cleveland, Ohio. Recently rated the largest poorest city, and it's getting violent. It's also, they have sections that are being really redone. Gentrification's alive and well in parts of that city that are getting kind of nice. They got a long way to go, but they're making progress. It's almost like they start focusing their resources on a couple different towns, and then the really bad ones, they just let it go. Almost, you know, that's what it reminds me of. Thoughts on Norfolk, Virginia? I like it. Been there a couple times. It's nice beaches around there. I mean, nothing like sitting there on the beach and seeing a submarine float on by. It's kind of neat. Dude, Alabama isn't that bad. Sure, a lot of states suck, but Mobile area is nice. I'll give you that. Mobile's nice. I like Birmingham. Some of the other ones, though, you get out in the country there, woo, it gets country quick. Pine Bluff is horrible. Thoughts on Calgary? Calgary Flames fan, so I like it. Calgary, haven't been there once or twice, and just stayed for a game and then left the next day, so that was it. Lumberton, ooh, solid. Or Pine Bluff. I would stay in Lumberton before I'd stay in Pine Bluff, but it's not a big gap of the decision there. They're kind of very similar. I think just Pine Bluff's a little bit more dangerous. Do you want to be a small rural town, but stick to the suburbs? Bama is great. Yeah, suburbs are nice. And they got, you know, what's funny is too, is a lot of people, especially from the coasts, they just assume if you're in the South, you're kind of ignorant. And that's not the fact. Alabama has some of the smartest, kindest people I've ever met. But, you know, stereotypes. Everyone thinks if you're from California, you say dude a lot and, you know, you're lazy. Huntsville is nice. It depends on if are Portland suburbs better than downtown Portland. Yeah, in a lot of ways there are. or it is. It depends on what you're looking for. If you look at the news, I know they make it sound like Portland's on fire. No, that's one area by the federal building and by the police union building across the river, but every place else is perfectly fine. Now, I will tell you, it does suck that windows are boarded up, but a lot of businesses are just worried, so they board up their windows just in case. But really, all the problems there have been to one area. I got several tattoos. Lake Tahoe is one of the most beautiful places in California or in the country, easily. Lake Tahoe's great. Juan, I'm trying to see whoever I can. If I dare look up at this camera right here, about 50 comments go by, so I'm missing a lot. Los Angeles does need to build more housing. I need an English class. Los Angeles does need to build a lot more housing. But it's getting too crowded too. What they really need to do is expand further out in the desert, and hopefully some of those communities won't be terrible like they already are. Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like on this video. It helps it out. Best mountain towns. I did that video. That was a good video. It was a lot of people watched that one. I should do it again because there's a lot of towns on there I missed. Stop swearing. Who's swearing? East St. Louis or Pine Bluff? Probably, I don't know. That's a tough one. All right, what time is it? Okay. Tell you what, guys, I got to knock this off because I got to go to my brother's house for barbecue, a little more family reunion stuff. I'll probably do this again later on tonight because I like do my Saturday night ones. I was just had nothing to do, so I thought I'd do this for an hour. But all right, I'll probably see you guys later on tonight. I'd say around 7 o'clock West Coast time. All right, you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Now if I can figure out how to get out of this. And